Lupe.
Verenice.
Anna.
Okay, and we did our presentation on Orangewood Family and Family Center, located in front of the outlets of Orange. Okay, something quick facts about Orangewood. It used to be called Albert's Home. It's been in operation for over 25 years. It is a 24-hour temporary shelter for children who have been abused, abandoned, and or neglected. Children under the age of 6 cannot stay longer than 30 days unless it's a teen mother with her baby. Once they turn 18, they can apply for a non-minor dependent and get funding resources up until they are 21. Now it is easier to place the children with their relatives or non-relatives like friends than it was before, and because of that, it has gone down from 300 children in the shelter down to 60. Something more, it's actually a pretty big shelter. There are 6 cottages, age appropriate, one for girls, one for boys, toddlers, middle school, and high school. There's no more than 2 children per room. There's a small library, there's playgrounds, pools, dining halls, which meals are prepared daily, basketball courts, and there's an on-ground school, which is through kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, but 40% of the children go to their own school outside of the shelter. Okay, mission and vision is to make each child's stay as pleasant as possible, provide them with the basic needs such as food, shelter, and clean clothes. The ultimate goal is to reunite the child with their family after assisting them in maintaining a safe environment for the child. The primary client is children who come under the provisions of the Section 300 of the Welfare and Institutions Code, and basically that is the child has suffered or is at risk to suffer serious physical harm or illness as a result of the failure of his parent or guardian to adequately supervise or protect the child, or the child is suffering serious emotional damage, the child has been sexually abused, or the child's parents or guardian has caused the death of another child through abuse or neglect. And the main reasons for referrals to Orangewood, 46% is neglect, 21% is abandonment, 12% is physical abuse, 5% is emotional abuse, 5% is sexual abuse, and 11% is others.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the demographics. Orangewood is located in Orange County, and there's always a combination of and diversities of ethnicities. It usually serves the lower socioeconomic status because obviously they don't have the resources. And as far as the gender, it's usually half and half. For the admissions by ethnicity, as you can see, the majority is Hispanics. Then we have Caucasians at 25%, African American 6%, Asian 4%, and Pacific Islander and others at 1%. The age range of admissions under 1 is 5%, from 1 to 5 years old is 25%, 6 to 12 years of age is 27%, and 13 plus is 43% of the kids that are in the shelter. Direct services the Orangewood Family Center offers well, obviously it's a 24-hour emergency shelter care facility. She mentioned that sometimes the children come in at 3 in the morning where they have been neglected, and police have come and picked them up and brought them to the shelter. Sometimes they haven't eaten or they're dirty, and so they have to take care of them whenever time they come in. There's always somebody, there's always people up in the office taking care of the kids that come in. The other services are social workers, counselors, teachers, nurses, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists that provide casework services, crisis intervention, diagnosis evaluation, developmental screenings, and educational assessments for the children that stay for a longer period of time, so they have to go to school. What the Orangewood does to reduce the incidents of child abuse and neglect is they prosecute the abusers through the court systems. They work hand in hand with law enforcement in order to facilitate and communicate with what's going on with the child, whether the child has been abused and in what way, and etc. They also promote the non-violent and non-abusive child rearing practices to the families. And this is by having them contact social workers in case of child abuse. Mental health issues that the children come in or show is depression, ADHD, social problems, behavioral problems, post-traumatic stress disorder, otherwise known as PTSD.
Okay, investigation, assessment, and risk. Agencies focus on immediate assessments of the child, such as crisis intervention, diagnostic evaluation, developmental screenings, and educational assessment. Other areas as investigations are handled by other agencies. Well, all depends on court. The court has to work with like the judge, the lawyers, the child protective services, and even comes to a point where other counties are involved. Strengths and weaknesses of clients. Strength coping skills are one of them. Some of them are determined that they want to go home. Others are mental distant, which they don't feel comfortable being there. And others are just endurance. Weaknesses. One is their vulnerability. Some are resilience, which they don't really like talking or addressing to other staff about what they experience. Some don't have the ability to verbalize, and others can take control of their own lives. Methods to anticipate the needs of clients. Look at each child individually. Each staff works with each child, and they go through the process of seeing what the child needs. They work their way to a different level, pick 3 target skills they want to improve, and have a structural home as well. Instruments to measure success. Other target skills, youth feedbacks and services. Staff gets together with children individually, and staff gets their feedback. Collaboration and other agencies. Orange County Social Services agencies, other off-ground schools kids go to, other states and countries, law enforcement, sheriff is on duty at all times. The healthcare agency that they have on grounds is also on duty at all times, and Department of Education a year-round on ground school for grades K to 12, unless they turn 18 and get emancipated. Qualification and training of staff. Background check investigation, fingerprint, life scan, psychological evaluation, clear child abuse registry, clean DMV record. Training varies depending on the position, can go as high as a PhD, as long as the study is related to the field of work. Agencies provide additional training depending on the position. And staff turnover, well, she was really clear that there wasn't really a staff turnover because they have always had a limit of staff due to the amount of kids. But it's been low. They love what they do, and most employees move up in a position or they either retire. So it's a secure job.
So adapt to needs of minority groups. So as we mentioned before, they have a diverse staff, so different ethnicities, because they feel that children can relate better to staff that come from the same background or similar background. And then safeguard confidentiality. So whoever comes to needs to be approved. So such an example, they have to show a valid picture ID. It's the youth right to allow whoever they want to visit them, so they choose who they want, unless it is not allowed by code. And then societal values that stand in the way of program success. So values they have legal values, always keeping track of whoever goes in and whoever goes out. family placement and political shifts. And then impact of the media, so they feel that it's not helpful. Even though it does bring awareness to the child abuse and mandated reporting, and it brings donations to the program. So particular cases that media gets involved and only gets one side of the story, that's what I feel. And then due to confidentiality, cases cannot be discussed with the media, so they don't get to see both sides of the story. And then the greatest accomplishments, so they're protected and served by some children. Children have a lot of gratitude toward the program, and children and their families get children and their families in the right track. And then what makes this job rewarding? See kids develop and be more confident, see them improve in their lives, and touch